The dream match has been made. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God. Some music fucking going on. Oh my God. Hello, everybody. Episode 66. Here we go. Let's get this out of the way first. Danielson versus Okada, Omega versus Ospreay, confirmed for Forbidden Door 2. Now, not gonna lie, I was expecting to do Omega versus Ospreay for All In at Wembley, and I still think it could happen. The way I'm kind of booking it, if I'm trying to curtail booking so that it just goes my way, would be Omega wins again at Forbidden Door against Ospreay, and then Ospreay beats him at Wembley in front of his countrymen, in front of everybody for this huge big-time moment. That's what I'm thinking. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. But we will see. Danielson versus Okada, the dream match we've all wanted, you know? Once Danielson showed up in AEW, these were the matches that people started dreaming of. Now, this is the main point I kind of want to make for tonight. AEW now is, in my opinion, is starting to reclaim that spark that I felt that they had going out of All Out when Danielson and Adam Cole debuted. Punk was there. It was just pandemonium. Like everybody, like all the great ones were there. To only be matched when they finally said that they were going to do a crossover Forbidden Door, like this is a go, this is going to happen. All the dream matches we wanted, we're getting now. I mean, take a look at the wrestling the last couple of weeks on AEW. It's been pretty fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's worthwhile wrestling to watch. And, I don't know. I just feel like that feeling that I had. The feeling that I felt that I lost, when Punk, threw a shit fit at All Out. That was the feeling that I had lost that, that spark kind of went. It was kind of like, after he did that. Like, I was happy and he just shit on my birthday cake. That's how I felt. And then then he was injured, then he had to drop the belts, then Omega and the Bucks were gone, they had to drop the trios belts and all this shit. So we're getting it, man. Like, this is it. This is it. These next couple of shows this year are going to be mega shows. Mega shows. They just have to book them right. Now, also, I guess, oh, geez, man, there's so much we got to talk about. We got to talk about SmackDown. What is going on down there? I don't know. Anywho. SmackDown had Jimmy Uso super kicked Roman in the face again. No, what did he do? He pie faced him? Oh yeah, he pie faced him. Oh, what am I talking about? So Roman's in the ring. They're all fucking in the ring. I think, what was this? Was this the Jesus, it feels like forever ago, but it was only like 4 days ago. But I think I'm trying to remember this offhand without looking at any notes. This wasn't when they debuted the title, right? I have to look up SmackDown notes. I can't fucking remember. Unbelievable. Hold on a second, guys. Oh, and freaking rest in peace to Iron Sheik, man. Like, fuck. Cheeky baby. Oh, was that? Okay. Oh, it was the 1,000 days. Okay. Wow, all that happened in one day. Shit. Okay, all right, let's do this. Okay. So, I mean, the main thing that I wanted to talk about SmackDown was obviously the stuff with the bloodline. That's the storyline I care the most about, so that's what we're going to talk about. It was the 1,000-day celebration. They debuted a new undisputed WWE Universal Championship belt. It pretty much looked like all the others, except it had like a gold like inlet in it. So like it's the same belt with the same W, except it's gold on the back. You know what? Fine, cool. Whatever. I don't hate it. It's fine. It's whatever. It's still on Roman. Who gives a fucking shit? So they were all whatever, cheering or whatever, and then the Usos crashed the party. Jimmy explained that he didn't try and do it to become tribal chief. He did it to be a brother. That brothers treat each other with love and respect. Reigns hasn't been doing it. He basically said that Roman's gone crazy. He warned Solo that Reigns was going to mistreat him too. Sikoa, he declared that Reigns is the tribal chief, but the Usos are his brothers. He went, swapped sides, left Roman's side, stood with the Usos, but then basically, like, what happened? Jimmy Pieface Roman, like, put his hand in his face and freaking just shoved him. Got in each other's faces. And then, you know, Jay's like, come on, let's make peace. Let's make peace. Roman hugs Jimmy and, like, you know, because Jimmy's like, you know, like, we can be the bloodline again. We can be the bloodline, blah, blah, blah. Hugs him. Roman just puts the mic up to his mouth and goes, no. Puts the mic down. Solo gives Jimmy the Samoan spike and the SmackDown. Raw was awesome. It started off with a match with Gunther and Kevin Owens. Amazing match. Gunther comes away with the victory. Last match of the night was really awesome also, which was Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins for the heavyweight title. First time that there's been a title defense on Raw, heavyweight title defense on Raw in like 2 years. So, you know, it was a big deal. Rollins comes away with the victory. It looks like they're planting seeds for Punishment Martinez. Damian Priest. Looks like there's a push that he could possibly become a babyface, because he kind of made it known that he wanted to win the match on his own. Finn kind of gave him a look. Finn ended up interfering anyways. Damian's like, what do you think you're doing? So, something like that is probably going to go down. But hey, I mean, he had that huge push from, you know, the Bad Bunny feud. Even though he lost, it's a big-time feud. The whole thing with Puerto Rico. They obviously see that there's something with Damian. I mean, to be quite honest, he should be rewarded for legit carrying Bad Bunny to a good match. I mean, like, you know, like, I'm not saying... I am still not a fan of celebrity wrestlers. Like, I don't like them. Like, the only one that's really managed to make me turn the corner was Pat McAfee. I don't know why, but he did. But I don't like him. I don't like him. So I'm still, you know, if you want me to give Bad Bunny credit, it's never gonna fucking happen. It's never gonna fucking happen. Oh, also, LA Knight's going to be a Money in the Bank, which is going to be great. Because honestly, he's super over with the crowd. I honestly think he's going to be the guy to take the belt off of Seth. I think Seth is going to have like a decent like run. I think he's going to hold on to it for a while. I think he's going to hold on to it for as long as Roman. But I think Seth needs to hold on to it for a while to really make it like an important title. Like if he's going to defend it as frequently as possible, he should have, like, a pretty short reign. You know what I mean? Because if you have him beat everybody week after week and you have him hold on to the belt for, like, a year, it's like, you know what I mean? I feel like he should have maybe, not a short reign. I'm thinking maybe 6 months. I think would be a solid reign for a first-time champ. And it gives time for LA Knight to do the will he, won't he thing with Roman and Seth. Is it Roman or Rollins? Roman or Rollins? And then he ends up pulling it on Rollins because let's be real here, people. Let's be real. The heavyweight title is the expendable title. This is the title that they have put on a guy to tell people he's a champ, but he's a champ that loses. Roman's the champ that wins. Roman's a champ that will always win. If this wasn't the case, he would have dropped the belt to fucking Cody. But that shit didn't happen. So, Rollins is the expendable champion. Anyone who holds onto that belt is not going to have a Roman Reigns kind of reign. They're going to be a guy who holds onto the belt, and no one's going to have more than a year-long title reign with that belt. I think guys are going to be dropping the belt in either like 3 to 12 month, anywhere between there. You know what I mean? Anywhere between there. You want to have a guy who's like an interim champion, maybe who's holding on to it for like like an injury or whatever. I can see that being like a 90-day reign. They're going to hold on to it for like 3 months. But otherwise, this is going to be the guy that drops belts. Period. So, if LA Knight wins Money in the Bank, he's fucking taking it off of Rollins. Period. End of story. Unless they have Rollins drop to somebody else, which I don't think they are. I think Rollins is super over. The crowd fucking loves him. They need a super over babyface. They have a super over heel on SmackDown, and now they have a super over babyface on Raw. Like, it's perfect. You know what I mean? I do think, though, that Roman will hold on to this belt all the way up until WrestleMania of next year. And then it's going to be Cody versus Roman for the belt. Then Cody finally wins it. And they finally, but you know what? You know what it is? Like, they've already burnt out Mike Handel now. You know what I mean? Like, first off, there's also reports that Vince is backstage again. So there you go. But it was already obvious by the booking for the last several months. So he didn't have to be backstage. As soon as he weaseled his way back into the company, that's when shit went haywire. Because when he was not a part of the company, this company was being booked awesome. You know what I mean? Now, I feel like he jumped on to the momentum that the Bloodline storyline was having. And like Vince with storylines like this, like he's the guy who like will talk to a girl and that's super cool. But the second he finds out that she is into him, the cool factor's done. And now he's overthinking it and he's ruining shit. That's how Vince books. Because the second that Bloodline storyline started taking off and the second he came back, the first thing he did was try to bleed that son of a bitch storyline dry. Bleed it fucking dry. You want to know how I know he's bleeding it dry? Because Cody didn't win at WrestleMania. If Cody won at Mania, that would have been a Triple H move. Cody not winning at Mania it's Vince. It's Vince. They're going to stretch it out for a longer period of time. Now, granted, the storyline that's going on between Jimmy and Jay and Solo and Roman is an awesome storyline. But I've said this before, and I'll say it again. That storyline didn't need the title for it to happen. All right? If anything, that storyline would have been enhanced if Roman didn't have the title. Because then Roman could have been just blaming the Usos for his title loss. And that could have been that on top of all the other shit that's been going on with the Bloodline for quite some time. Okay? Notice how the title isn't even on the line in this storyline. There currently, right now, is no one challenging Roman for the undisputed Universal title. Nobody. So why does he need to have the title in the first place? Why do we need to stretch out the Cody Rhodes storyline for another 12 months? Now he's doing shit where his arm is broken, but he's still getting into fights. He's feuding with Dominic Mysterio now? I mean, don't get me wrong. Dominic is like, in terms of like heat, he gets some heat. You know what I mean? Like, the crowd fucking hates Dominic, but that's a reaction, and they fucking care, and they're into his matches, and he's not the most fantastic wrestler in the world. He's no Kenny Omega, or he's no Seth Rollins, but he can hold his own, and his storylines are good, and the shit that's going on with him and Rhea Ripley, like for me, it turned the corner, because in the beginning, I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? But this is great. The stuff that's going on with Finn and Punishment, like, once Damian goes face, like, he's gonna end up having a feud with Finn Balor. And more than likely, he'll probably team up with Edge and then have tag matches against Dom and Finn Balor. Like, the writing's on the wall for that one. So, the stuff that's going on with Dom is great, but it's just like, I just feel like it's a little beneath Cody. You know, like, Brock is gone. So what, he's gonna feud with fucking Dominic? If Brock is gone, go for the title! Go back and claim what Roman fucking stole from you! Like, this is what, I don't get. They're gonna I don't know if Cody's characters can survive between now and Mania. Alright? Because the same shit is gonna happen in WWE that happened in AEW. He's just gonna be just this over-dramatic babyface. And these long monologues that he has, and how good he is, and how much he struggles, and Dusty this, and Dusty that. Every week, for another 365 days, how many weeks? Like, another 50-something shows of Cody in the same shtick over and over again? Getting screwed, getting beat up, coming back from adversity, da-da-da-da-da. All while Roman, no one's challenging him. Cody could just be like, fuck these guys, I'm going back for the title. That's what my daddy wanted. Unbelievable. Unreal. Wasted potential. Wasted potential. What the fuck else was I going to say? Oh, and Braun Breaker actually challenged for the heavyweight title. So that was like a little bit of a hit or miss for me. And one of my friends made a point because technically it would be cool to see the world heavyweight title on NXT. But on the other hand, it's a new title and you want to elevate it and kind of bringing it down to and having it defended in the minor leagues. It's like, what are we doing? Breaker should come to Raw and fight Rollins on Raw. It's the Raw title and it's immediately going to be defended on another brand. I mean, like we all know, like the brand split is just kind of, I think people take the brand split like a little bit too seriously. I think like the brand split really, and they could never say this on television, but it's been evident in the behavior of the brand split for the past several years. The brand split is, these are the wrestlers who are going to end up, for the most part, showing up on the show. And the major things that happen with their characters are going to show up on that particular show, unless the other major character in their storyline is more of a big deal on the other show. And that's pretty much it. Because right now, it don't mean diddly fucking squat. They do the brand split and people are still hopping around. Me personally, I prefer split. Split it. 2 separate shows. I'd like to see 2 different types of storytelling, different kinds of wrestling, different kinds of marketing. I don't want the same show twice. I would like a little bit of variety. And they have so many different various wrestlers with various gimmicks and various storylines that I do not think it's too much to ask to have 2 separate, distinct shows. That's also what I want from between Dynamite and Collision. 2 separate, distinct shows. Ring of Honor is its own separate, distinct show, and you have Dynamite with their roster, Ring of Honor with their roster, Collision with their roster. They have their own belts, they have their own storylines, there's things that are interconnected. That makes sense. That's how I want it. I think it's cleaner storytelling. That's my opinion. There are other people who think it's just better if it's one long continuous show, so told 2 separate times. There's pros and cons to that too. Alright, let's get to Dynamite. Dynamite was fucking awesome. This is probably one of the better Dynamites they had in a long time. I'm digging the almost all the storylines that they're putting at me. The in-ring stuff has been pretty solid. Their champions are on fire. The promo work has been great. A lot of these guys are finally healthy, and they're healthy long enough that they could start investing them in feuds and storylines that take time to develop. I've been saying this since last year. What happened with AEW last year was a combination of a lot of things. Bad luck, bad employees, bad leadership, bad booking. All right? Now, the bad luck I put out with all the injuries that they had. Now, the injuries that they had affected their booking massively, massively. And I think for the most part, they did okay. They could have done worse, people. They really honestly could have done worse. But they managed to be okay. Bad luck again, Punk losing his mind. That goes into also bad luck, bad personnel, bad management. Because the second that would have happened, I would have whispered into Punk's ear, you need to chill the F out right now. If you feel like you can't do this, just walk away. We'll do something else and that's it. They would have been able to cut their losses and it would have been a wrap. Instead, that fucking scrum is still on their YouTube channel. So, you know, it's just an embarrassment. It's an internal an eternal embarrassment to the company. Honestly. So, but, you know, now guys are healthy. Shit's starting to simmer down. It seems like they're on some sort of, you know, like momentum. Ring of Honor now has its own kind of set gig and they're doing whatever and it has Honor Club and there's exclusive matches there. Collision is finally coming, the breath of fresh air that I've wanted for AEW for a long time. It allows for more storytelling and more guys to get more attention, which to be honest is what you guys and what I want. If there's one thing we could all agree about is that there are guys who are just not getting enough television time. And now there's more television time. And now we know it's not going to be more television time for the same people. That's another thing. Having all that television time is great, But when they're all kind of using the same one, eventually there's a cap. This is television time for different people. So very excited about that as well. Did I lose my notes? There we go. So, I'm telling you, like, they're on a roll. Let's keep on. Let's keep on going on. So tonight's card I thought was stacked. We have Blackpool Combat Club, which obviously consists of Jon Moxley, the Ring of Honor heavyweight champion. Ring of Honor world champion Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta versus Chaos, which consists of Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta, and Chuck Taylor. They're all a part of Chaos. They're doing this because obviously there's going to be a match. Because the Blackpool Combat Club faced Okada, Ishii, and Tanahashi for the 6-man never open weight titles in Japan. I think that was at Dominion. So that's why they're going by Chaos, because otherwise that's best friends or Roppongi Vice. I guess Chaos is the better term for it. Main event tonight: Jay White versus Ricky Starks. Orange Cassidy versus Swerve Strickland for the international title. Jack Perry and Hook versus Preston Vance and Dralistico. Chris Statlander puts the TBS title on the line against Anna JAS, and MJF has a promo segment. So, a lot of stuff to talk about on Dynamite tonight. Let's get going. So, the night started off with a fucking banger of a match. Orange Cassidy defeats Swerve Strickland to retain the international title. Not gonna lie, I thought tonight was Swerve's night, man. I thought that Orange Cassidy's had a great reign. He's defended the belt, I think they said 25 times. I might be wrong. He's had great matches in his title reign. All matches where they've been building up this story where he's been taking a beating. It's been going on since they ruined his hand and the whole Orange Punch thing. Then it was the back. Then it was the neck. It was just continuously a breakdown of Orange Cassidy's body, but it added to the drama of the matches because you knew they were playing an injury angle. So you really didn't know whether or not, they're going to use this injury angle to protect Orange, but they're going to put over this guy. And one after another, he was beating guys. I thought this was it for Orange. They're building up this injury angle. This is it. Didn't happen, man. It wasn't tonight. Swerve lost to Orange Cassidy. It looks like this is building up to a match. I think that's going to be happening next week. It's going to be the Mogul Affiliates versus Orange Cassidy, Sting, Darby Allin, and Keith Lee. So in the end, this all really ended up being a device to push this 8-man tag. Now, is it possible that the reaction that they had from this match is enough for Tony to be like, Orange, you done good. We've been having these matches, putting people over, having great matches, putting you over, putting this champion. The crowd wants Swerve. We're going for it. Boom. And they do a final match with Swerve. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I am very curious as to who's going to end up taking the international title off of Orange Cassidy. It could still be Miro. We know he's coming back. We know he's going to be at Collision. The TNT title. Is Collision on TNT or on TBS? It's on TNT, right? Am I losing my shit? Let me see. Come on. I don't know. If someone in the chat could tell me if Collision is on TNT. Let's see. Never mind. I'm going to do this real quick. It is on TNT. Okay. All right. So it's very possible that belt, the TNT title, will go to Collision, where it could be defended on TNT, and the international title goes to Dynamite. So, it is very possible that they might have Wardlow do the job to Miro, and Miro becomes a 2-time TNT champ. Because let's be real, Miro was one of the best TNT champs that they had. The whole Redeemer gimmick is fantastic. Him and Brody Lee, I thought were like 2 of the best TNT champs. Oh, and Darby too. Darby was an awesome TNT champ. That guy he defended that belt every fucking week against everybody. So, I mean, they if they decide to book ways that they, if they decide to book things the way I think they are, it could happen. It could happen. Fucking fantastic match. Orange comes away with the win. And Mogul affiliates come out. They start beating the shit out of Orange. And the lights go out, and Jordan fell for it. You fell for it because it was Sting, bitch. Sting shows up with Darby, clears the ring. The end. Someone needs to clip that so I can send it to Jordan. Let's see what else. Okay, let's go past this. Mogul affiliates, okay. All right, they do a video package, hyping up the main event between Switchblade, Jay White, and Ricky Starks. Let's see. We hear Bryan Danielson's music hit. He heads over to the commentary table. They get a video package of Danielson challenging Okada at the Dominion show. They get a video of Okada accepting the fight. It is on for Forbidden Door. Danielson says when Okada steps in the ring with Danielson, he's stepping foot in the desert, and there will be no rain for the Rainmaker. It's going to be fucking awesome. Danielson obviously gets into commentary because the next match, Blackpool Combat Club successfully defeats Chaos, consisting of Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero. Great match. Mox is a beast. The entire Blackpool Combat Club is on fire. I mean, all their matches have been fucking insane. These guys are brutes. They're destroying everybody. They're like almost like a rated R version of the Brawling Brutes, where you kind of have Wheeler being Butch, you kind of have Mox being Sheamus, and you kind of have Castagnoli being the fuck is that other guy's name? I forgot. The guy who injured Big E. I forgot his name, but he's like Cesaro. So like that, they're just an unhinged group because they just bleed all over the place and they murder people and they swear and they come through the crowd and they're maniacs. Blackpool Combat Club is awesome. I still want those Blackpool Combat Club bomber jackets. I'm upset they come out with these jackets. They don't sell them on AEW shop. Let me give you my money. Let's see. Okay, so then they do a who else was saying that? Okay, so once the match was over, they cut to the back. The Young Bucks and Hangman Adam Page are back there, otherwise known as the Hung Bucks. They're back there and they're talking about next week's Dynamite is going to be in Washington, which was the first where the first Dynamite was held. And the Bucks and Hangman issue a 6-man challenge for next week against Moxley, Castagnoli, and Yuta. Danielson accepts on their behalf. This already is going to be an awesome match because the Hung Bucks are a great trio and the BCC is on fucking fire. If you're not excited for that match, fucking check your pulse, people. They show a video package, Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. It showcases their match at Wrestle Kingdom. Ospreay wants revenge for what Omega put him through. Obviously, Ospreay beats Lance Archer at Dominion to get that United States title shot. So it's official. Omega, Ospreay 2, Forbidden Door, Canada. It's fucking happening. That pay-per-view right there with those 2 matches right there is going to be fucking bananas. Is gonna be fucking bananas. And now we have the potential 3rd mega match happening on that card. We don't know if it's happening there. We don't know if it's happening at All In. We don't know if this is gonna be the match they're gonna push for All Out. I have no idea, but here we go. MJF comes out. He's defended his title 3 times, and he said he was out of competition. I think he's counting all the other people that he's beat in the company, not necessarily people he's beat as champion. He said, what else? Okay, so basically, he shit on the fans. He said there's no competition for him. No one's on the level of the devil. That's his new catchphrase. Very catchy. Adam Cole's music hits. I'm like, oh shit, they're going to do this now. So it's pretty much been heavily rumored that Adam Cole's going to be the next guy to challenge MJF for the title. I mean, what they're doing now is pretty much what they did with Cody. Cody came back to massive, he was massively over. They immediately put him in a high-end feud with Rollins, which inevitably leads to a title shot with Roman, to which he loses. Adam Cole's coming back, super over right now, coming back from this feud with Jericho, which, to be quite honest, it was an okay feud. I honestly thought that the mixed tag match that they had and the match that Roderick Strong had with Jericho was a better match than what Adam Cole and Jericho had at Double or Nothing. I thought the bookends of that feud were better than the sophomore match of that feud. That's what I think. But hey, it's Adam Cole, baby. He's super over. So yeah, put him up against MJF. This is great. Adam Cole loses. He's not going to be hurt by it. He's Adam Cole. He's super over. And no matter what happens, he's going to be great. Guy hasn't been around for like almost a year, and he came back over as fuck. What else? So, so right before Adam Cole, does the Adam Cole baby, MJF cuts his music, which I laughed my ass off. I thought that was hysterical. What a fucking asshole. So, MJF says he's finally got some competition. He says he's a fan of Adam Cole. He said once CM Punk left him as a kid, he said he turned the channel to Ring of Honor, which he kind of thought sucked, but he was hooked on Adam Cole's work. He mentioned Adam Cole's time in CZW. He mentioned Adam Cole's time in the Indies. He mentioned going to Florida to shock the system as Shawn Michaels' handpicked guy, obviously alluding to Adam Cole's time in NXT when he was having amazing matches against everybody there. His time as NXT champion, his time as the leader of the Undisputed Era, which is one of the most over factions in the history of the WWE. And MJF said he kind of followed in Cole's footsteps. He did go to CZW and try and make a name for himself. He ended up signing with AEW, and he knew that once Adam Cole came to AEW, eventually, he said that eventually he was going to hop on over to AEW, and they were going to cross horns and shit was going to go down. But MJF says, but now he's disappointed. He said the Panama City Playboy is the Panama Playboy is the Panama Game Boy. He says that Cole is more concerned with playing video games on Twitch, having his balls in Britt Baker's purse. He says that his physique is all shot to shit, and he's more frail than he's more frail than a crack whore. MJF said he thinks that the fans think that Cole isn't utilized properly, but in the end, AEW's done everything that they could to put him over. They gave him the music, they gave him the look, they gave him the TV time, they gave him the reality TV show. He's got Britt Baker, all this shit, all this stuff to make Adam Cole special. But the only thing that they have to do to get MJF over is ring the friggin' bell. Now that is a callback to a line that Adam Cole did against Karrion Kross when they had that feud. When basically he ran down Karrion Kross saying they did all this stuff, they gave him the music, they gave him Scarlett, they gave him all the matches and blah blah blah. But all they have to do to make Adam Cole special is ring the friggin' bell. So, obviously MJF letting everybody know that he's watched Adam Cole and watched him actually very closely. He said that MJF's had the best dog collar match, the best Iron Man match, the best Fatal 4-Way in history. Then he said that he heard a rumor that there was a certain individual at Titan Towers who didn't think Cole could make it once they called him up out of NXT, and that person's name was Vince McMahon. Now MJF, who MJF is a big fan of, by the way. Now, MJF said that he kind of thought that Vince lost his shit. That, no way. Like, why the hell would they say that Adam Cole can't hack it? Like, this isn't the guy that I've been watching on the indies. Like, Adam Cole is the man. But standing in the ring with Cole, MJF said Vince was right. Now, in front of an AEW crowd, that's blasphemy. So obviously that got mega heat. MJF was getting booed mercilessly by that Colorado crowd. So Adam Cole gets the mic. Crowd goes nuts. Asks if that's the best MJF's got. He's coming across as an internet troll. He questions MJF's fascination and other people's relationships and asks if that's why his fiance left him. Adam Cole said that MJF is a world-class douchebag. And he said that, you could talk about my body, but the one thing everyone's really interested in is my body of work. And he's like, no one could touch me. He said, I have the respect of everyone backstage. I have the respect of the fans. Nobody respects you. The people in the back don't respect you, and the fans don't respect you. And then he's just like, and if you really want to get dicey, he's like, how about we piss in cups and see who's natural and who's not? He said that MJF's selfish, conceited, and does the bare minimum to get where he's at. MJF obviously acted like he was unfazed by this. He said he'll cry into his money, and that's that's tough talk coming from Keith Lee's manager, which I also thought was hysterical. Cole said that that's typical MJF, creating a false narrative. He said he calls him a coward because if it were Adam Cole and so someone was saying that shit to him, Adam Cole would say, let's fight. But, MJF resorts to these little retorts and these little jokes and these different kinds of stories and these different narratives. So MJF said he'd fight Cole anytime, anywhere. Cole smirked, said attaboy champ, says Adam Cole baby, and walks off. So it's going to be Adam Cole versus MJF. The question is when. And actually, that's answered later on Dynamite. We see footage of the buy-in, where the Hardys beat Ethan Page and got his contract. Backstage, there's Matt, there's Jeff, there's Brother Zay. They introduce Ethan Page. Sorry, what the fuck am I talking about? Matt Hardy tells Ethan Page to apologize to Brother Zay for injuring him. He does. And he says, hey, listen, we're not going to torture you. We're going to make you into a better man and better wrestler. So is this the eventual face turn for Ethan Page? I mean, Ethan Page is great. They could definitely do a lot of shit with him. They just don't because Dynamite is too crowded. So I'm hoping that once people hop over to Collision, that opens up room for guys like Ethan Page to get more shine and people can really see what he's capable of. Because in my opinion, he's capable of a lot. They do a tag match. Jack Perry and the FTW champion Hook defeat Preston Vance and Dralistico with Jose, the assistant, with them in a Texas Tornado match. Pretty wild and crazy battle. Obviously, there was like weapons involved and a whole bunch of shit. Preston Vance was bleeding all over the place. I'm just glad they didn't call them Jungle Hook because that's the stupidest fucking name I've ever heard of in my life. They should never call them Jungle Hook ever again. And they didn't, which is good. So if you want to see a really crazy, it was pretty much like a tag match with no tags. So if you want to see a crazy like no DQ tag match, this was a match to watch. Tony Khan has a major announcement. This was him supposed to be announcing the main event for Collision, and on June 17th. Oh, it's June 17th, not July 17th. Holy shit, this is getting real close. I'm gonna have to, I gotta get my shit together. I don't know why I thought it was July. Fuck. Anywho, the main event is gonna be Switchblade Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Samoa Joe are gonna face FTR and CM Punk. So the CM FTR fanboys out there get their day. CM Punk, FTR, 6-man tag in Chicago. There have been people saying this show is CM Punk and Friends, and so far, it's CM Punk and Friends. So we will continue to see how the booking of Collision goes going forward. What it's going to be, I have no idea. What my expectations are, I have no expectations. I have no fucking clue. The only way we're going to find out is by watching. No matter what any of these fucking morons say or I'm repeating online, the best thing to do is just watch the show and find out. We have no fucking idea. Don Callis comes out with Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita defeats Damon Ace, and Callis just gets shellacked. this crowd was booing him fucking savagely. They did not give two shits. They hated Don Callis. So I was all about it. All about it. Callis takes the microphone. He says that everything Omega has had in his life was because of him. Omega defeated Will Ospreay because of Don Callis. He became AEW champion because of Don Callis. And that Omega has become a cancer in Don Callis' body. And what do you do with a cancer? He says, you cut it out. So he says Callis and his family will cut the Elite from AEW for good. Who's going to be in Don Callis' family? So far, it's Konosuke Takeshita. Who else will it be? I have no earthly idea. But Callis is such a fantastic asset to AEW as a character and as a creative mind. So, awesome segment. Sorry. And if you guys always wonder why I yawn a lot on these shows, is because to do this show and to do it on time, I work extra early in the mornings. So there you go. You're catching me after a long work day and 2 hours of Dynamite. So, Alex Marvez was backstage. He was at Christian Cage's locker room. You hear all this like grunting and moaning and all this stuff. Like Christian Cage pops out, says Arn Anderson cost him the TNT title by pushing him off the ladder, and he took something from him. He took something from Christian, so Christian's gonna take something from him. Door opens up. Luchasaurus walks out. He's beating the shit out of Brock Anderson. Who the fuck is Brock Nelson? I don't know. But he beats up Brock Anderson, and he's busted open, and there you go. Chris Statlander defeats Anna JAS to retain the TBS title. Not a bad match, to be quite honest. Anna J didn't look half bad. Statlander looked fantastic. Another win for Statlander. She's probably going to be defending this title left and right. They kept on cutting to the back to show Taya Valkyrie watching. She was obviously pissed off because I think the storyline for this thing is going to be, well, I softened her up for you, and you wouldn't be champ if it wasn't for me. So you are going to owe me a title match, and that's going to be it. And that's going to be one of the big major hurdles that Chris Statlander is going to have to jump over. She holds on to this belt. Let's see. Jay White defeats Ricky Starks. I was kind of like, it was a great match. The ending kind of bummed me out. You know what I mean? I thought that the point of banning all these guys from ringside was so that there wouldn't be any interference in the match. So I expected there to be a clean winner between these two. I was emotionally invested in the match. I was like, all right, this is it. This is the ending. And it ended up not being the ending. The Guns came out. They just and they hit the 310 to Yuma on Ricky Starks. Jay White hits the Blade Runner, and 1, 2, 3 Bob's your uncle. So does this mean that the Guns are a part of Bullet Club Gold? To be quite honest, with a tag team name called like the Guns, I think they should be in Bullet Club. The Guns, Bullet Club. The Guns, Bullet Club. So we'll see. Anyone who thinks it's an odd choice is a fucking idiot. So awesome match, worth watching. The ending kind of fell flat for me because I wanted to see a clear victor. I think it wouldn't have mattered who won. I mean, Jay White coming in as the new guy, he, technically was the guy to win. I guess they didn't want to beat Ricky clean to protect Ricky, but it's just like, what about protecting my investment in the feud instead of protecting the wrestler's win-loss record? You know what I mean? I invested in this feud. Give me a clean-cut winner. Now I don't know what's going on. Is this thing going to continue? I feel like Ricky Starks has always just been a part of feuds that have gone on for way too long. The feud that he had with Jericho, that was going on for forever. To the point where he was like, I'm sick of fighting you, man. I'm sick of talking to you. Let's do this. So, come on. Ricky, We're all sick of it for you, bro. We want you to have some wins. Jay White, I want you to have some wins, bruv. Let's go. So there you go. That's the end. I think didn't Bullet Club Gold, yeah, the Guns have had a history with FTR. FTR has currently some beef with Bullet Club Gold. So there's a lot of stuff going around with those teams right now. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on. The lineup as it stands for Rampage this Friday is going to be the Lucha Brothers and Bandito take on Ethan Page, Big Bill, and Lee Moriarty. I'm assuming this is going to be another chapter in them making Ethan Page a better man. Powerhouse Hobbs is going to be in action. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass are going to fight the Spanish Announced Project, which is Serpentico, Luther, and Helico. Britt Baker, Sky Blue, Mercedes Martinez, and Nyla Rose going at it in a 4-way. The winner gets an AEW Women's title match next week on Dynamite. So, that means Toni Storm next week will be defending the title against, we don't know. Dynamite next week. Aside from that title match, MJF versus Adam Cole in an AEW World Title Eliminator match. Now, to be quite honest, I'm not sure if I'm too excited for that. They should just have them fight, to be quite honest. But now they're going to have this Eliminator match, and obviously you guys know how the Eliminator matches work. If the challenger wins, he immediately gets he gets a title opportunity. He doesn't have to work his way up through the rankings or any of that shit. You pin the champ, you should get a title run. Do I want to see MJF getting pinned? No. Actually, I don't think he should be pinned for quite some time, even if it means him getting pinned doesn't cost him the belt. So no, I don't like this idea one bit. I also don't like Adam Cole taking a pin against MJF in a non-title match. So not too big of a fan of it. I'm a fan of the match. Definitely, it's going to be a great match, but the way that they're booking it, it's fucking my shit up. Toni Storm obviously is going to be defending the women's title against the winner of the Rampage 4-Way. Mogul Embassy, which is Swerve Strickland, Brian Cage, and the Gates of Agony, who are the current ROH six-man tag champs. They take on Orange Cassidy, current international champion, Darby Allin, Sting, and Keith Lee. And then also Young Bucks and Hangman Page take on Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta. Next week's card of Dynamite is going to be fucking awesome. Adam Cole versus MJF. Toni Storm with, I assume, would be Britt Baker, unless they somehow screw Britt Baker out of a title match somehow, and it ends up being like Sky Blue being this like, oh my god, I won, I can't believe it. Or Nyla Rose or Mercedes Martinez. I don't know. We'll see. Collision, the only match that they have booked is CM Punk and the AEW Tag Team Champions FTR versus Switchblade Jay White, Juice Robinson, and the ROH Television Champion Samoa Joe. This summer of wrestling is going to be awesome. I'm fucking excited about this shit. I'm going to play some Diablo. Yeah, I'm going to get some caffeine in me, and I'm going to play some Diablo. I might actually be streaming it on Twitch, if I could figure that out, because there's a weird way I have to do it. If I do, anyone who I send the link to already has a link to my Twitch. I've sent the same links to the same people. So there you go. And the countdown to Collision rolls on, my friends. Forbidden Door 2 is already going to be bonkers. Danielson versus Okada. Omega versus Ospreay. We're getting awesome matches next week between Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite. Mogul Embassy versus Orange Cassidy and whoever the fuck he likes to tag with. Toni Storm, awesome, fantastic women's wrestler. Hopefully has a match with another awesome, fantastic women's wrestler. They have an awesome, fantastic match. And MJF versus Adam Cole. It's a great time to be a fan, people. Great time to be a fan. On SmackDown, we find out who Jay decides to side with. Is he siding with Roman? Is he siding with his brother? I think that the eventual match between the Usos versus Roman and Solo is going to be a fucking banger match. So I'm very excited for that storyline. The shit that's going on within the Judgment Day, I'm also very excited about. They're involved with Cody OK. Do I think Cody should be world champion? I'm going to say that every week. Abso-fucking-lutely. But this is what we're getting. I'm done, people. I'm done. I don't want to do this. I got shit to do. Thank you guys for tuning in. Josh in the chat, appreciate it. Says Bloodline has been a great group. He says it reminds him of 2016 booking. Also says that Solo's going to eventually turn. I agree with that. LA Knight for Money in the Bank. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, Braun Breaker's probably ready to come up. I mean, you know, they have the 2 shows. I just hope he's booked very well. But you're right. If it were Black and Gold booking, it'd be a different story. I'd probably keep him there. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They need more TV time to get these guys freshened up and all that shit. All right. We're signing off for tonight. I'll see you guys next week. Episode 67. Take care.